Welcome back to my channel. It is a Vlogmas. And as you can see by today's title, I'm coming to you guys with a simple get ready with me. I'm actually getting ready to go out to brunch with my friend Chanel. And yeah, just gonna have a little chit chat with you all. As y'all know, we are definitely heading towards Christmas, but you know, we're also heading towards a new year, and I just want to get a few things off my chest and just, you know, kind of recap on my year kind of thing and chit chat with y'all. Duh. So there was actually this post that I came across on Twitter, and I was like, wow, like this really resonates with my life right now. If I'm talking kind of low, it's because Gianna's behind me sleeping. I just hope she lets me get through this video. But anyway, so the post said, I saw a post today that said, when you finally learn your place in people's lives, your feelings won't get hurt. I swear that's the truth and one of the most important life lessons you'll learn, whether it's friends, family, or whoever. Before I get into this, let me actually use my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Orange Corrector. Wow, how can I forget to prime my face? So I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Primer in Soft Silk, the hydrating primer, as well as my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. My face is feeling a little dry, so that's why I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer as well. Nah, yeah, I don't know how I'm about to do this. Just tap it in. But yeah, so I'm going to just kind of start talking. As y'all know, I had a baby. That ain't new, alright? It ain't new. If it's new to you, make sure you check out my birth and delivery vlog. But I had a baby, and it was definitely warranted that, you know, things will change. I just feel like I don't even want to blame it on having a baby. I just feel like in life, when you're going through like different seasons and stuff like that, you know, people reveal themselves, things change. You know, not everything has to be negative. Just things change. And again, you're going through different seasons in your life. So whether it's, you know, you're going away to college, you and your some of your hometown friends aren't as close anymore. You go to a new junior high school, you go, you know, you start a new job. Things just, life just lifes. I have been feeling like I haven't been like, you know, a socialite, especially because I was pregnant during a pandemic. So I wasn't really seeing anybody and stuff like that. But you still notice things, you still feel things, and not to blame anybody, but it's just life. To me, I just charge it to the game. So when I came across this post, so I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35B palette and start on these eyes. You know, I'm not going to be in the spotlight as I was before. I'm not going to be in every party. I'm not going to be at every brunch. And again, COVID. So definitely let's make sure we include that. But there just comes a time where, to me, principle definitely trumps all. And that's what helps me make the decisions that I make in my life, because perspective is always going to be a perspective. Everybody's always going to have a perspective. Your perspective is different from mine is different from yours, but at the end of the day, principle is what it is. It is set in stone, and I feel like people should live their life off of basic principles. Was I always like that? No, I was not. And I have definitely hurt a lot of people that I even called friends. You know, just not holding myself accountable to certain things. And I was actually going to reach out to a few people. Okay, not a few, but 2 people were actually very heavy on my mind lately. And I'm like, you know, maybe I should reach out to them, because now that I'm a little bit older and I'm a little bit more mature and wiser, and I have a daughter and I want her to be the best person that she can be, and I don't want her to make excuses for the shitty things that she does, I feel like, you know, I want to reach out to these people. But what has stopped me from wanting to reach out to these people is the fact that just because that's where I'm at does not necessarily mean that's where they are. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I might still reach out to them. The theme of the year 2020 was what it is, 2020 vision, just seeing things clearly. And I really feel like that's what happened to me. I went to church, and that was literally what the theme of this year was 2020. And a lot of things have been revealed. So for me, myself has been revealed, my friendships have been revealed, family has been revealed, okay? And I'm at a point in my life where I am definitely growing. Not perfect, but I'm growing. And I've always been the type of person, I'll cut people off in a heartbeat. Like, oh, because I'm, you know, I'm one of those people that's like, I feel like I try my best to always make sure that I'm not rubbing anybody the wrong way. Again, I'm not perfect, so there are times when I have definitely rubbed people the wrong way. But I just feel like if it gets to a point where I feel like I have to cut you off, then I just feel like I don't have anything left in me, personally, to make this work anymore. But I did learn that you can't sit there and cut people off every time, you know, something that you don't like happens, because that's not how life works, you know. Like, you can't be so quick to write people off, because again, as I said, I'm learning. I have rubbed people wrong in so many different ways, and they didn't write me off. They probably just told me about myself, and I corrected it. I was recently caught up in a situation, y'all. A situation. And when I tell y'all, it was straight karma. Like, something that I was a part of doing to somebody else happened to me. And it humbled me. I was just like, wow, like, I can't even, I mean, definitely I could be upset because it still happened to me. But I'm like, wow, like, this was definitely, my braids all peeking out. I'm like, this is definitely 360. Like, so basically, a little while ago, I was in a very large group chat with some friends, and we decided we was gonna go on a vacation, but we didn't invite one friend. And we had a good reason why we didn't invite that friend. She was a little erratic and whatever, not the case. So we decided we gonna go on a trip without this person. I felt bad, but technically it was my friend's trip. So we kind of used that as the excuse, like, oh, well, technically you didn't want to invite her. And she was with it, like, yeah, I don't want to invite her. She can't say nothing, like, yeah, I can't invite her on my birthday trip. But that's wrong as hell. You are in a group chat with somebody, and they wake up one day, and 5 out of 6 of y'all that's in the group chat is on vacation, and this person is not. That is some devious shit, okay? And I honestly did not see anything wrong with it. I did not see anything wrong with it, regardless if it was my trip that I curated or not. I did not see anything wrong with it, and that is messed up, y'all. That is so messed up. Like, I would never want anybody to do that to me. I would never want anybody to do that to my daughter. So, situation I'm in is basically something pretty similar. Like, granted, I have a kid, so I'm about to be linking every, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to be in every meetup, in every whatever. But some things are just principle, in my opinion. So now let me go back to 2020 and me having a baby and stuff like that, because that's what I was telling you guys about. So since I've been pregnant, a lot of my relationships have been kind of okay, not necessarily because I'm pregnant, but that's a new season I'm embarking, so I'm just gonna check it up to that, you know. Especially with my friendships, I didn't expect a lot of things to change, because I'm just like, I went from being, for those of y'all have been rocking with me for a very long time, like, I went from being like the socialite, I'm out all the time, doing this, doing that, and now it's like, Alex is either with her man, by herself, or with her baby. And I love it like that, don't get me wrong. I'm at a point in my life where I'm also not gonna beg anybody to notice me, friend or family. Baby, no baby. School, no school. I'm not gonna beg anybody to notice me. I'm not gonna bring it to anybody's attention, like, hey, you know, you can still hang out with me, or you can still invite me places, or you can still do this. You know why? I'm grown. I'm grown, okay? That's just what it is. I'm grown. I'm not having that conversation. To me, it's like, if you wanted to invite me somewhere, you would invite me. If you don't want to invite me, you're not going to invite me. The same way, when I want to go somewhere, I'll invite you. If I don't want you there, I'm not going to invite you. I mean, it's not as straightforward, like, oh, I don't want you there, so I'm not going to invite you. But it's like, you know, if the person didn't come across the mind organically, I'm not going to be the one to say, hey, make sure you think of me. If you organically did not think of me, that's fine. It's still principle. Like, I'm still not, just because it doesn't directly affect me and make me feel like I'm gonna cry and lose sleep over it, it's still principle. So it's like, once I see people is moving a certain way, I'm gonna move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I might not be crying, I might not be losing sleep, but I'm gonna move accordingly, because principle is principle at the end of the day. After having Gianna and just maturing and stuff, just being in that situation where I noticed that I had hurt somebody, that person ended up not speaking to me anymore. And going back to that post, it's like, somebody doesn't necessarily have to say, hey, I'm not your friend, or hey, I don't have your best interest at heart, for you to say, okay, that person doesn't have my best interest at heart. Everything is built in action. Everything is in actions, okay? So for me to have done that to that person, or be a part of the situation, it was clear as day where that friendship stood between me and that person. It was clear as day. Clear as day. Maybe that person didn't end up not speaking. Wait, did we? I can't remember if we ended up not speaking directly after that situation or a few months after that. And for the life of me, I'm just like, I just don't understand why. You don't understand why? Well, a few years down the line, God made you understand exactly why, okay? That's kind of where I'm at in life right now. And it's so ironic because I think I just mentioned it already, that that person has been heavy. I have not spoken to that person in a few years, a couple years. That person has been hefty on my mind, like to the point like I was thinking about reaching out, and I'm talking myself out of it, like, nah, I'm not gonna reach out because whatever. And then when the situation a few weeks later ended up happening to me, I'm like, wow, I think that person was heavy on my heart, because somehow like God wanted that person to be front and center in my brain, so that I can learn from that experience going forward. It was a very teachable moment. No matter what that person is doing to you, you make sure that you have a conversation with that person, and y'all both have I don't want to say a clear understanding, because sometimes people not gonna understand why you're moving the way you're moving. But you know, y'all have a conversation, and that person knows you about to start moving differently, or you feel like they're acting differently, and if they don't change their ways, or if y'all don't come to some type of common meaning, things will shift from there. But you don't be in a whole group chat with somebody and go on vacation. That is messed up. That is so messed up. But again, when you find out where you lie in people's lives, you don't get hurt by certain things. So with the situation with me, I already started feeling like things were shifting, like things weren't as organic as they were, but I just couldn't put my finger exactly on what was changing, why it's changing, because like, you know, no conversation was made, nothing, at least to my knowledge, nobody was rubbed funny. I wasn't rubbed funny, but again, I just still kind of felt like things weren't the same. Like, I don't want to say it felt forced, but it kind of felt like forced is such a forceful word. But it just didn't feel as warm and cheery, and it didn't feel as homely as it once did. When the situation for me happened, it was like, okay, there we go. There goes the solid evidence of what exactly I was feeling this entire time. I wasn't bugging. Because, you know, sometimes you don't want to speak on something because, one, as I said, I feel like I'm too grown to be on some, oh, I feel left out. It's like, again, if we wasn't moving like this before, because we knew what it meant to maintain this relationship, whether it was a family matter, a friend matter, a boyfriend-girlfriend matter, if we was not moving like this before, it's because we honored the relationship that we had. That's what made our relationship transparent. That's what made our relationship pure, is that we may not be obligated to tell each other certain things, but the fact that I'm coming to you with this information makes the situation, what is it, like transparent, you know what I'm saying? Makes it pure, it makes it what it is. And because you didn't feel the need to do what it is, it makes me see where the relationship stands. If you guys like understand what I'm saying. For me, I have to put my foot down for myself, because it's like, if things weren't like this before, why the hell would you do something and think that that is okay? So if I was to ever excuse that type of behavior, it's kind of like I'm setting the tone for where this relationship is going to head. And I'm not going to be abused by anybody. Maybe abused is a bit dramatic, but I'm not going to, that's unhealthy. I don't want to be in any unhealthy relationships with anybody. Also, that post also kind of resonated with me, because again, I'm not begging to be around anybody. I don't want, if you did not think of me, don't think of me. There's no hard feelings. I genuinely believe that people are in your life for a season and a reason, and it might not be the next season that they're supposed to be in your life too, but maybe the season after that y'all could rekindle. Unless you do some real foul, messed up stuff to me, then I feel like you got to go. Scissors cut off. But now it's like our relationship is just not the same, you know? And it's just not the same for right now. It doesn't take away from how we were there for each other before and stuff like that, but it's just like, this is where the relationship is not there anymore, and it's been obvious for some time. You know, people, you try to hold on to things because that's what you know, it's comfortable there. It's, you know, you don't want to feel like you're losing your man, you don't want to feel like you're losing your sibling, you don't want to feel like you're losing a parent, or, you know, stuff like that, especially when you're going through very big life changes and stuff like that. It is unfortunate, but it is life, and life still goes on. I'm a very firm believer that God definitely always has a plan, and if he is removing something from you or away from you, is because you have to open it up, open your arms up for the new blessing. Again, I'm not saying this to say, I mean, that might be some people's situation, like, oh, that person was really bad news for you, now that you let them go, that toxic behavior. Sometimes it's really just people, the same way you're going through a new phase in your life, so are people. They are also going through a new phase in life. Sometimes you just gotta charge it to the game. You have to live off principle if you wanna, you know, let things continue to be as healthy as it should be. Because people are always gonna feel like their perception matters more, or what they perceive is the truth. And it's like, it's your truth, but technically what you did was foul. So going forward, you know, I don't want to be in a situation like that. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts. It's so crazy because I was having this conversation with my best friend the other day. She was like, you know, everybody's she's like, you know, everybody's perception and blah blah blah. And I'm like, and that's where life gets fucked up at, because it's not about perception. Perception is not facts. Perception is not always true. Say I walk in an alley and somebody just got stabbed. I take the knife from the person who stabbed the other person on the ground, but now the cops pull up, the killer ran away, but I have the knife in my hand, I'm standing over the person. To the cops' perception, lock my ass up and throw away the key because I just killed this person. But that's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. With principle is just so important, because it'll save face in a lot of situations. Like, even though you're feeling a way about something or someone, whatever the case may be, principle still remains. Feelings always change. So that's why for me, it's like when people show me things, and I'm not no saint, I'm pretty sure I rub people the wrong way. That's why my friend had all right to cut my ass the fuck off. Don't get me wrong, we had great reason why she was not invited and stuff like that. But again, principle of conversation should have been had. A conversation should have been like, girl, you rubbing people the wrong way, and going forward, if you cannot change your ways, or going forward, if we cannot come to an agreement, things are going to change. That would have been better, because you can't be calling yourself a friend and moving like you're not a friend. And when I tell y'all, a similar situation happened to me, and again, I was already feeling my ways. I was like, and not feeling a way in like a negative way, like, oh, no, just literally, I just had a feeling, like, literally. The feeling was inside my bones. Oh no, Gianna's waking up. Hi, Gigi. When that situation happened, it just solidified everything for me. And it's like, I love you. We've been through so much together. We have a daughter together. I'm kidding. I just like being dramatic. But you know, but it's like, principle still remains the same. Like, despite whatever it is, whatever you felt like you wanted to be deceitful or not tell the full truth or hide something from me or whatever, principle still remains the same. Okay, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't owe them certain things, but when you tell them certain things, that's what sets the tone of that relationship. When you don't tell them certain things, that's what sets the tone for that relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So again, going back to my friend who I didn't tell was going away, it's like that set the tone. Bitch, I wake up to a good morning text from you every single day. We be going out, I'm telling you my secrets, I'm telling you this and I'm telling you that, and I wake up and see you on vacation. You know how much planning goes into a vacation that deceived this person? And I'm gonna chuck it up to, oh well, I didn't feel obligated, you know, it's not an obligation, technically it wasn't my, like, that's messed up. That is messed up, y'all. But I live and I learn. Be humble. You have to be humble. At all points of life, you have to be humble. You have to live by principles and not feelings and perception and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, we're human. We're still going to be swayed by those things. But at the same time, it's like, we're human. So for the situation that happened with me, was I upset in the beginning? Hell yeah. I was mad. I was livid, okay? Again, God has a plan. Okay, I don't feel like, I don't know if those people were out to hurt me. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't think that it was. Maybe I'm just being naive. I don't think that it was. But you know, those people are in a phase in their life. I'm in a phase in my life. And right now we're just not agreeing. And our two phases are not agreeing. And I'm damn sure not about to let anybody make me feel slighted, to say the least. I'm not going to allow anybody to feel like this is going to be the tone of our relationship going forward. It's just a part of growing up. And it's so funny, when it happened to me, I was like, Gianna, I'm going to teach you how to be a good friend, because mommy was not a good friend to people, and this is her karma. So yeah, I was talking to my niece about the situation, and I'm like, because she swears she could give people karma, and I'm like, no, let God do that. Because God is going to hit that person when they need to be hit, when they can learn from that situation. So just because they hurt you today and you want to hurt them tomorrow is not going to cause as much of an impact as it will when God knows that they're in a certain place in their life and that they cannot handle whatever it is that karmic situation is. So I was like, it's so crazy that the same shit happened to me years later. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely using a micro eyebrow pencil to do my lips right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I like super suck when I'm doing get ready with me's and trying to show you guys like what I'm using and stuff like that. So everything is gonna be listed down in the description box below. my order of events is that Corona hit, I had a baby. I know automatically having a baby, people always say, oh, your relationships are gonna change and things are not gonna be the same. Situation happened where I kind of seen where my relationship stands with certain people. And again, it's not like a cut-off moment. This is not like a, but it's kind of like the last straw for me in the sense of I already seen where things were kind of headed, and because a certain principle wasn't adhered to, it's kind of like, I kind of see where this relationship stands. People are not obligated to tell you their business. They're not obligated to tell you their whereabouts or, you know, stuff like that. Like, there's no obligation. You're not obligated to tell anybody anything, but again, it kind of shows where the principle lies. It kind of shows where the friendship lies, the relationship, the communication between, you know, you and your boyfriend, or you and your girlfriend, or you and your parent, or whatever the case may be, you and the relationship. It just kind of shows you like, okay, so because you didn't feel the need or the right to do whatever, it's like, all right, I see it. I see it for what it is. So, all right, y'all. So this is basically the finished look. I fixed my hair, flat ironed it, did a little bit of baby hairs. I'm really trying to like keep up with myself after having a baby. I don't know how I got this on my eye. Edit. All right, this is just gonna be what it's gonna be because I wish it was on this eye, being that this eye is hidden, but whatever. So yes, as y'all see, I have on my jacket from Target, from my Target fashion haul. If you guys have not checked that out, I'm gonna link it up above. I think this outfit is really a vibe. But anyway, just to conclude this video, thank you for listening to me rant a bit. The moral of the story is, again, people show you who you are to them. Too old. I have a kid now. I'm not really into cliques as much as I was before, where I used to like be in a gang of girls. I'm not into chasing no man down. I'm not into ignoring what family members do to you when it's evident that they don't give up about you, you know what I'm saying? So this goes across the board for relationships, period. People treat you how they feel about you and stuff like that. So that's just my little story, my little 2020 vision of 2020 and going forward to 2021, and just, you know, raising a daughter and hopefully some more kids, you feel me? But I need to go to brunch now before Chanel whoops my behind, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Happy Vlogmas!